untouched, and I know I'm gonna stay for always.
Well, welcome everybody on this beautiful Saturday morning. I know it's extra early, but I didn't do a show on Thursday or Friday, and 8 a.m. is like the only time that I could do it. So right now you don't see Rasta Bear. He was practicing last night with StreamYard to get ready for the show, and he was on. So Ceiling Fan Man was watching a little bit of him. I was too. So he might have overslept. I don't know. So I'm trying to email him right now too, again, to let him know that we are on. So when he wakes up, he could just jump on. Like Bob said earlier, that if it's not for me, Bob will be sleeping.
I'd be sleeping. I'd be sleeping in right now.
I mean, sure, I knock on the door at 7. Said, Bob, we got an hour. I got coffee.
I make sure I'm laying there with my boxers on, half pulled down, so he when he walks, I make sure he sees that.
Thanks for that visual. Thank you for that visual. Appreciate it.
I see Rose 777 is in the chat saying hello, Rasta Bear. maybe Rose has his direct number. I don't have his number. I just have his email address. So, well, hopefully he's good shape. Hopefully he's alive. I think he was just sleeping. I think he'll be here. Kelly Fe just showed up. Kelly saying hello, everyone. Jeannie, good morning, beautiful men. That is very nice.
Oh, I like
beautiful
that.
men, aren't we?
I'm gonna rub myself.
You bet.
That's
a good listener right there.
Yes.
I wanted Rasta Bear on here also, just because when we met. We went to the Flat Earth meetup last Saturday, and Rasta Bear was there. Silly Fan Man was there. Of course, Bob, you were there. I think you rode with me, maybe.
Yeah, I went with you.
You rode with me, and it was such a great time. It was such a great community. Everybody was so awesome and fun. I thought maybe we get Rasta Bear on here, and we could just continue that awesome conversation that we had out there. Bob and I had to leave a little early just because it's my daughter's 13th birthday. I can't skip her birthday,
13.
or I would never hear the end of it.
Where's your priorities, man? I mean, seriously.
You're right. Through the
13.
family, right? Haven't you ever heard "Happy Wife, Happy Life"?
Oh yeah, trust me.
Yeah.
And
that's why I'm divorced.
I said I want to do a show on Saturday, but like always, I always say let's have a lighter topic. But sometimes lighter topics don't always come out that way. Sometimes we get heavy. If we do, we do. The topic was based on the movie Zapped, and where this title of the show came from was, in the morning I was watching the news, and the news said during the pandemic, billionaires, I'm not talking about millionaires, billionaires had made profits.
Yes.
And then I was watching, then Amazon Prime said new releases, and the movie Zap, 1982, Scott Baio. Now Scott Baio, 1982. Now Zap is not a PG movie. This is not his Charles in Charge, where he made a family TV show with that same actor. Remember, Bob? He had same actor, his partner in that Charles in Charge is actually the same actor with him in this movie Zap, and it's a rated R movie. And I thought, why not combine it? Why not combine the two together? What would you do if you do have abilities? Would we steal files? Would we try to? I always say, to destroy a system, you got to get within the system. That's why I put a picture of awesome, handsome guy, Silly Fan Man, as the president, because I didn't want to show Trump's face. So I replaced Trump's face with Silly Fan Man. Because to destroy a system, it's easier to destroy a system from within than from the outside.
Upside down flag.
But Bob, I mean, we'll just start. If Rasta gets here, he'll come on. So Bob, if he had some kind of ability,
oh God,
is there something you want to open to the world? Like you want people to see certain Mandela effects, or you want people to see the Earth is flat, round? What would you want to expose if you had the opportunity to expose something?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Can you duck your head for a second or move your chair? I want to see your background picture.
Yeah, there you go. Now it's much better.
Yeah. Where's the girl with the skirt? I don't know. I would be an upskirter. I would definitely use my powers to lift skirts.
You know,
I'm
that
sorry,
skirt-
it wouldn't
that
be me.
skirt picture-
It'd be an instinct.
You know
It'd be
what?
an instinct.
Hey,
I know
Bob,
I made it to the right show when you answer that.
you know what, Bob? At first, I was thinking, should I leave that picture with the skirt up? And I'm thinking, YouTube will probably shut it down if I
Yeah.
let that picture up. They probably would.
I would no. I wouldn't be an upskirter. I mean, I would have to resist that to be an upskirter, but
You'd have to resist.
Yeah. I would have to resist that
Lord, give
power.
me strength to not upskirt every woman.
I would definitely, number one, I would use my powers to check and 100% check to see if the Federal Reserve, our classic version of the Federal Reserve, our memory version, our anchor memory version over there is filled with gold. I would go in to see if there's any gold. And if there's no gold, I'd come out and say, hey, Rich, hey, fucking Eric, dude, there's no gold in there. So we got to rethink everything. Since our entire economy is based off gold, we have none. I would definitely go. I use my powers to see if there's gold in there. There's no gold in there, so.
Nah.
I don't know it now.
Fine.
Here's a crime. I don't think it was possible because the Panama Canal. Now, remember, I talked about history in our time, our anchor memory when South America was way back over there. You had a vertical west to east. It was directly west to east trip across the Panama Canal. And that's how all the gold came from out of San Francisco. It came out of San Francisco and went to the East Coast. So gold flowed through the Panama Canal. But now, did they bring gold up into the Panama? Did the weather change? I mean, how did they make it? Did they make gold? Did they get gold? Was there even gold found in San Francisco anymore? Or is it a joke now? Because I see the Time Life books. I see the 949ers, and they look like fake pictures. I don't see real pictures anymore. So you see these miners getting gold in San Francisco and all around the Klondike. It looks like weird fake pictures to me.
Yeah, that's the other thing is I'm waking up to whatever this system is. The photos are changing now, and when you look at like World War II photos or even Civil War photos, it's always just a bunch of dudes. They're usually in a clean uniform, like they haven't been doing anything, and they're posing or they're standing or and it's like. Because this one dude, Barnabas, really freaked me out once. He had this one that's called No Fucking Beach Towels. And he shows all these people in really nice outfits that just showed up at, I think it's Coney Island. And they're in like their best dressed Sunday outfits. They look like they have no idea where they are or what they're doing there. And they're taking photos. And there's not a single beach towel in sight. And he's like, everyone just decided to go to the beach and no one brought a fucking beach towel and people and women in really nice dresses with the hat and stuff just laying on the sand. Like it makes no sense. It looks more like they were just planted there and said, okay, now go live here, which is what I think is happening again. If we want to get into that, that's another thing. Yeah,
they have. Now, I don't want to steal people's material. I saw it myself. However, I don't want to make people think I'm stealing material. MA out of England also talked about, I'm going to put his name in there, also talked about the Boer Wars in Africa. Okay, we had one Boer War. The British against the Boers, which were, they were Dutch. They were South American by that time. They're indigenous. Well, they're indigenous, but they've been there a long time. They're Dutch. They're called the Boers, the Boer Wars. And there was one. And then there's three of them now. And he shows these guys lounging in the Boer Wars and like fake shootings and people laying over. Like you can tell they're not dead. Like they're posing dead. I'm like, what is this Boer War fucking?
For instance, on the screen, Eric just showing pictures of the soldiers and they're all just standing around posing. The actual battle scenes, they're all like drawn images, cartoons. You know what I mean? So where's all the fighting shots? They don't exist.
Look, it's McConaughey. Looks like McConaughey.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yes. And you can tell that's fake. I mean, these are all drawings there. And
they're probably reenactments that they put in there. You can take a current reenactment and make it black and white, and there you go.
See? And then the pose, and then the real pictures, they're all posing.
Yeah.
Well, you guys
And are
didn't
their
see my
outfits dirty? Are their faces dirty? No, they look clean.
No.
They look like they've been living outside for months on end. They look
did
fine.
I made videos, guys, on Time Life books, the cowboy collection, the Western collection, and it showed American soldiers from the 1800s, and showed them out west. And guys, they were wearing pith helmets with the spike on top. American officers they're wearing obviously they're German helmets. Why would we didn't have? You never saw those spiked helmets until World War One in the trenches with the Persian, or not Persians, but with the Germans and the Prussians, and they had the spike on the helmet. And they showed them in the Time Life book. You show American officers with that spike, and I go, Americans didn't wear that helmet and did not wear that spike. That's Prussian. That's Prussian. That's Prussian. That's Prussian.
Like every one of these photos looks like they've just been staged. And
yes,
if they're changing, if they're screwing around with us in 2020, how easy was it to fool us back then? Like I watched National Guardsmen dancing the Macarena in the middle of the street. First they did the nurses and all that other bullshit. Now they're doing the National Guard was Macarena. And then everything everyone's upset about the Floyd George thing or whatever. Have you seen the cop? His badge is like all twisted sideways and stuff.
Oh, it is. It's upside down.
So if we're screwing around with stuff now, I mean, how hard was it to do it back when these photos were shot? Because you didn't have the internet. So
you guys are right. Look, every photo that I'm looking at, all the battle scenes are all cartoons. There's not one battle.
No.
Look at that. Look at that.
See, Robert, he thinks we're just two pretty faces, but we're actually pretty smart too.
We're pretty smart. We went to college. We got educated.
That's right. We got an education. And that's spelled differently now. There's a U in education.
Yeah.
Look, the only live color picture is a reenactment picture. This is not even a real Civil War. This is a reenactment.
Yeah, find the battle scenes. They're always cartoons or drawings.
They got Star Wars in the Civil War now.
See, I think that was the fake too. I don't believe there was ats back then.
No,
I don't think so.
Remember, I worked for a Fort Lewis Historical Museum, guys. I worked for Fort Lewis Historical Museum. I dealt in 1800s, 1700s, all the uniforms coming all the way, all the army history stuff. And I know the uniforms, man, and the uniforms are Mandela affected. Those fucking uniforms are completely different.
Those guys look like they've been outside, like hunkering down in the cold for weeks, months. They're not even dirty.
Not even dirty, man. You'd be fucking filthy. And
they're crisis actors.
Everything's fake. The pictures are fake.
It's crisis actors.
Yeah, they're crisis actors back then. They're fake. It reminds me of when the Freemasons had their big ass convention and they all showed up because it was a 300-year anniversary for Freemasonry. It passed about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. And so you see they had a big convention and they had a play that Hamilton play came out. It's like they recreated everything from scratch. It's all fake. Everything's fake. Look at
when they start doing plays and shit, you know that they're covering up stuff. They're
mocking everybody. They're laughing.
So Bob, I'm trying to find uniforms for you. You were talking about there's been some changes on the uniforms.
Yeah.
I had something that changed with me because in my old business, I had to make these charms that were Viking helmets.
Oh, cool.
And I made them with horns. And then the guy that does most of my work, I design whatever, he's like, well, the Vikings never had horns on their helmets. I was like, really? To me, that was a Mandela effect before I even knew about them, because they don't. And yet, everything you always see them with them.
Yeah.
And yet, they supposedly never had them. So that was a Mandela to me. Do you know about Viking helmets?
I know all about that. I know all. What it was is that was a myth from everybody talking bullshit. They're not in archaeology. They don't know. Number one, the fat lady that sung at the opera always had the helmet with the two horns.
Yeah,
the big one. Okay, and so that was the adopted helmet for all the Viking movies, that German-esque, but they did. The old Viking did put real antlers on their fucking helmet sometimes. They did put horns on because it was part of their religion. You know what I mean? It's part of their religion. So a lot of their religious festivals had horns. So yes, they did actually have antler horns. Now, they didn't have the bull horns, maybe because they drank out of them cups. You know what I mean? They drank out of them whore cups, so they had them. They could have put them on their helmets, yes. But it usually was associated with the fat lady at the opera.
Yeah.
You're like, oh.
I want to ask
Zulu on. Hey.
No, yeah. I want to ask a question to the chat because has anybody in the chat seen the 1982 Zapped movie with Scott Baio? And the reason I'm asking is Silly Fan Man was talking earlier about he might have found a Mandela effect in it. So I want to see how many people even seen the movie.
I found two.
Probably not. It's probably a lot of people haven't seen it. I mean, it is, if you watch it now, there is cheesy graphics in it, but it was still cool. Yeah. It was still cool.
It's a silly movie, and yeah, I like a lot of boobs. That's better. Which, I think is funny. Back in that day, that was an R-rated movie, and really the only thing in it, I mean, there's some pretty funny things I can discuss in a minute, but as far as sexuality, they never really have sex in the movie that they show you. It's kind of more the way we remember it. Like they're going to have sex, maybe see some breasts, and then that's it, and they wake up and they're covered. Not like today's R-rated movie where it's basically full on porn. So it's because interesting. We
have porn. So if you're already adjusted to it. So you got internet porn. Your mind's already set for that garbage. So you go watch a movie. That movie has to compare itself to the garbage you just watched. Now, back in the 80s, you didn't have the internet. Nah. So you saw these things. They were cute and funny. And they left a lot for the imagination.
There was a reason why Phoebe Cates was like our number one dream girl, because that freaking movie where she opens her chest slow motion. That's really, I mean, other than that, maybe like a Time magazine with like Aborigines or a Sears catalog with bras. That's pretty much all we had back then,
Everybody would smuggle home the dirty mag, right? You would have the buddy that has an older brother that would, like, you give him money to go, give me the dirty mag, give me the sample.
I had a friend, he had a shed, because it was back in the day before anybody was like divorced. So his parents were divorced. He lived with his mom, and she gave him this shed that he had a lock to. And you'd open it up, and being like, I think at the time, maybe I was like 11 or 12, and you go in there, and he was a couple years older. And man, so first of all, he had like nudie pictures from the magazines on the walls. Like, remember that guy? And then he's the first place I ever got stoned. And it was just like, and he had the lava lamp, the whole bit. He's like, everyone knew that guy. He was usually the guy that ended up selling everyone weed. But yeah, his mom felt so guilty, I guess. She allowed him to have a private shed with a lock. It fascinated me.
It's a jerk-off station. We call it the jerk-off station.
Well, yeah, I didn't do that with him there, but man, it was like every once in a while he'd allow me to take some magazine or something. But that's all we had. We didn't have the internet.
No,
so movie, just some bare breast. I mean, I was like, whoa! Did you see that?
I do gotta let people know if they do type in the word "zapped" in the search engine. There is a Disney version of Zapped, a different movie, but it's called Zapped also. So when you guys type in Zapped and you see a Disney movie Zapped, that's not the right one. Nah. You got to type in the 1982 Zapped movie. Yes, Bob, there's actually a cute little rated G Zapped movie out there.
I found fascinating because, I do my homework, and I took notes. I watched the movie, and so first of all, you're right, Robert. I checked that scene where it shows one of the guys drinks Jack Daniels.
Well, okay, the reason he has Jack Daniels is so people know that in the movie he's doing tests on rats, on mouses, and part of his chemical is see how a mouse could float in water by putting some Jack Daniels in them. So what Jack Daniels gets mixed with some other stuff because the coach goes in there and accidentally knocks Jack Daniel bottles into a glass.
He spills it into marijuana tincture.
So when he has an explosion in this little science room in high school, it gives him powers. So that's the concept. That's why there's a Jack Daniels bottle in high school. He was using it for experiments, which nowadays there was no way in hell school will allow you to have a Jack Daniels bottle. Hell no. So go silly. Just so people know what we're talking
No,
about.
no worries.
weed.
So here, let me see if I can do this. I'm going to share this one screen because Robert was absolutely right. I found it in the video. Am I sharing?
Yep.
So it's clear as day when I was watching with my wife, but I don't know if you can see this bottle here. But now when I'm trying to freeze frame it, it's all, you can't see it. It's all blurred.
It's you're not supposed to. The Matrix is because you're not supposed to.
But last night we saw it. You could read the label and it said Jack Daniels with an S. That's fascinating.
Yeah, you caught it. You caught it.
Can you see this one? Am I sharing a different one?
The Dunkin' Donut?
It's all you.
Do you see the wiener?
W-E.
Oh.
Because that's wrong now, right? It's spelled differently now. Are you there?
Wow, dude. W-E-I-N-E-R.
Yeah, because Oscar Mayer now it's spelled I-E like Weiner.
That's a good find.
I before E except after C.
Yeah.
I before E except after C.
So there you go. See, I was doing my homework.
Nice, dude.
How about that one, Brian Stavely?
Holy shit. You just found it. It's like when Eric found the 13 on Bill Murray.
That meatballs thing was wild.
But then Eric found a 13 on his shirt, on one of his game shirts that he wasn't. Eric wore a 12.
Oh, yeah. But his switch, that was fascinating.
He switched to 13. Eric had his own picture. Yeah. And so when he found that out after he found Bill Murray's 13 on his shirt. And then you and I bullshit all the time. You went out and you found that on your own. You found, you caught it though. That's good. You caught one of the before it changed, or it'll blur itself. It blurs itself, and then it'll slip. It'll slip.
That Jack Daniels thing, you're right, because you told me that sometimes does it, and we could read it clear as day last night. When I try to freeze it on here, it's just always blurry.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, it's on Amazon Prime, so if you guys have Amazon Prime, check out Zap, go to that scene in the science room with the Jack Daniels bottle and try to see it for yourself. I'm trying to find a picture of it. I can't find any pictures of that scene.
Yeah, the Jack Daniels bottle is right in the beginning. It's within, I think, the first 8 minutes or 10.
Yes, that's when the mouses were floating. Yes, the mouses were floating, and then he put a little Jack Daniels bottle in their drink.
And the other one, the wiener one, it's funny. It's at 56.56. So it's towards the end.
You remember, it's in the eye of the beholder, in the eye of the sea. I mean, you can catch an old residual, but you got to act fast. You got to get that clear picture. Something has to happen because it will change.
Yeah,
it will. Once you see it, it will change. Like tomorrow, I got to show Robert, man. Boom! Oh, too late. It's already blurred. It's already in the process of changing. It does that. It's amazing when you catch those things. I like to catch the ones that are in the middle of changing. It's fucking like once you catch it, it's like cool, but it's too late.
And the other thing of this movie,
we called Amazon warehouse to have a fire last night because you and I probably watched the movie on there.
That's funny. That's funny. There's probably some stupid ritual they were doing,
It's all magic here. Everything's magic.
Rick, or what you said earlier, how you get away with more things in the movies back in those days. You can, because if you remember Revenge of the Nerds, he technically drugged a girl to sleep with at the end of that movie.
Dude,
he technically raped her, right?
I wrote down a list. Do you want to hear what happened in this cute little nothing movie? So in the beginning, he's torturing a mouse in a what do you call it? Aquarium. So he's got a little mouse he's torturing. That's the beginning. Then they cut to the scene in the school where this dude, he's a photographer for the school, and he's taking upshots of cheerleaders when they're bent over under their skirts. And that was just silliness, like, oh, stop it kind of thing, And And then the assistant principal basically mouth rapes the principal, just grabs him and starts kissing him without asking. And then one of the teachers has sex with a student, and that's really funny, you know. And
he took pictures of her. He's taking pictures of her. Yeah.
And then he took pictures of her while they're having sex. Another guy. And then
I've had sex with a teacher. I've had sex with a teacher, by the way. 2 of them.
You were homeschooled, Robert.
No, I went to school. I passed my classes. That's all that was. My dad was proud.
Come on, that was funny, I thought.
Back when it was okay.
There's just a lot of things that are no longer allowed. It's really funny.
Way no longer allowed. Way wrong now. It's like way wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. There it is. That's a student right there taking pictures of a counselor.
Yeah.
Nice. I love it, man.
It's so funny.
I can't believe it. These are what we watched, guys, growing up.
Yeah.
Nobody
but this
got
one was
hurt.
really tame. I mean, you go to movies like, my God, what was that one? What was it? Porky's.
Yeah,
Those things were crazy. You know? So yeah, they but again, tame by today's standards. I mean, shit, the stuff you even see on and I don't watch them anymore, but the stuff on HBO.
Eric watched the show. Eric, what's it called? The Scottish show. The Scottish show. Outlander.
Outlander.
Eric watched Outlander, and he come up to me, and I'll get this. Richard, Eric come up to me, his face looks like it's pale, and he looks like he's scared. I said, what happened to you, dude? I was watching fucking Outlanders. He's telling about the movie, how the movie's really good. He's enjoying it. But he has a pale face. Whatever. What's wrong with you, dude? He says, I saw a dude get buggered, Eric said. He got raped. I said, wait, what? On the show? He goes, yeah, the guy's hand was nailed, and he got nailed. I go, whoa, wait a minute.
Oh, first, before he got nailed, the guy took a hammer, smashing his hand, and then he nailed his smashed hand into the table so he can nail him. A British nailing Scotland because they don't like Scottish.
Okay, then. This is
I was like, what the fuck?
Well, and that's the thing. So, I was watching because we used to have HBO back in whenever, and I was watching with one of my sons. We had just finished watching Scarface, which was on, and as soon as it ended, the show Girls came on. Now, I've watched Girls with my wife, and it's been funny. There's some really funny scenes. Yeah. And so we just finished Scarface. You can't get much more manly than watching Scarface, you know? And
yes.
And then Girls came on, and I'm like, hey, dude, this is kind of funny show. We should watch it. It might maybe 5 minutes into it, 2 guys are just not just having sex, but it looks like you're watching a porn. I mean, you see almost every single thing. And he turned and looked at me and he goes, thanks for ruining Scarface for me. It's like, but you don't expect that nowadays, you know, and that's why you don't watch it. It's obviously they kept upping the ante. You know, it goes back to the wrestling thing. You know, if I punch you, then you come back with a chair, and then I come back with a ladder, and you know, we always have to escalate it. And these movies like Zap, where showing boobs, that was all you needed to do and imply they had sex. Now you've got to show full on male rape, like you said. What was that horrible movie? Oh, disgusting movie, Hateful Eight. He even said it was a hateful movie. What a piece of garbage that was. Sorry if you guys like it in here, but it was terrible. I honestly think what's his name, that the Quentin, I think he's like, man, I can make anything and they'll watch it. He goes and he makes this movie, The Hateful Eight, and he has to make sure he puts in a scene where Samuel L. Jackson mouth rapes a dude. I mean, it's just like this. It's like, what was that for? And he put it in, like, he was all big about it. He had to do it in widescreen. No one's ever filmed it. And then he shoots the entire movie inside a cabin. So it's just like the worst garbage. Anyways, I got off topic.
Well, no, that's what he's famous for. He's famous for the words, the written word. He's famous for more words than acting. So they have more of a dialogue. His thing is dialogue, deep and depth and weirder the dialogue. He uses words like knives. He drops the N word constantly in the show. Now, I get it; it's for art. So we got to take it into context. It's for art, all right.
I've liked his other movies, even though he's probably a horrible person. But that one was just utter nonsense.
He's all about the words and how there was I think it was Django and Shane, whatever. I can't remember how many times they dropped it. They had a number how many times they dropped the N word on purpose as a tool. They use words like you do spell casting. He uses dialogue like spell casting. He uses words like spell casting. It's back then they used slapstick. And words are minor. There's the 13.
Yeah, you found this one on this show because he never didn't wear. It was hot out. It was summertime. He always wore Hawaiian shirts. He definitely didn't wear a sweatshirt that said 13.
Remember, in the whole movie, he wore this blue Hawaii shirt almost in the whole movie, and then all of a sudden, like you said, in the hot scene where the host or the referee was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. But he's wearing a sweatshirt and it has a 13 on it.
Yeah, and look behind him. If it's dog, but it's dog spelled backwards, it's God. It's God. You see the G. So the Matrix, I call it the God Matrix, made sure you notice that G. You notice that?
Yeah.
So it's God backwards. You see the 13 and a God backwards. So not only was the 13 manipulated, but I call it the God Matrix in the web. He also made sure that you saw God in the background.
Yeah, because you could see the whole word before Eric put the other Bill Murray.
Yeah. Because
I just put the other Bill Murray so people could remember what he wore in the rest of the movie.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah. So it's real clear that the web itself it's under control. It's being attacked. It's under control. It's 100% under control. The internet has been successfully hijacked by the God Matrix.
Hey, look,
can't avoid it.
Look, our friend said, "I just watched Meatballs. He didn't have a number shirt on."
What the fuck?
And that's how it works, Zulu. It's just like once someone tells you about it, then when you go back and see it, you can't miss it. But when you saw it, it wasn't there.
Yeah.
Just like last night, my wife and I watched Jack Daniels. You could read it clear as day. I'm like, shit, I'm going to get a screenshot of that. And then I go in there and you can see it's all blurred. It's like, that's weird.
Yeah. Yeah. It caught you. You and your wife caught it, and it caught you. You know what I mean?
I got one even weirder. I'm not even sure about it. I want to talk about it here. I don't want to lose my audience, but I've said some weird shit on your show.
Good.
We're all weird here.
Did you guys ever see? It's a horror. I don't even remember if I watched the whole thing. Videodrome was a movie in the 80s.
Yes.
I remember. I don't remember much about the movie, but I remember the guy like reaching into his TV and it like went in and shit went. Okay, so this is gonna trip you out. I should find the video, but I was sitting on my porch and I had gotten rid of mosquitoes before, and now they were back. And so I was concentrating on getting rid of them again. And even that sounds odd, but it works. And a mosquito came to my leg, and I looked at it, and I took my hand and went like this and said, "Get out of here." And I don't even know why I was watching. There's this old Italian dude that was teaching me how to make a sauce and put it in jars. And as soon as I did that, the very next sentence out of this guy's mouth was, "Oh, and now there's a mosquito trying to eat my face." Like, I literally went like this, and then he stopped what he was doing, and the mosquito was after him. And the video was made back in September of last year. And my mosquito was gone, and suddenly he was dealing with one. So I don't know. Or it's a coincidence. I'll put it on the coincidence shelf.
No coincidence here.
I haven't watched this new show yet, but have any of you guys watched that new Space Force yet? I haven't.
No.
I know it's on Netflix. I know it's on Netflix. Comedy, right? That guy from The Office, whatever.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to watch that. That's going to be a truth dropper. That's all these Netflix movies are truth drops. Yeah. That's the way Eric. People have asked me from England, "What have you been doing at your brother's?" I said, "I'm not going to lie to you. I've been doing a lot." Eric, Mr. X Cable guy, loves his fucking entertainment. So the room I'm staying in has massive amounts of fucking movies. with the exception of, for some reason, the last 2 days, I've had no YouTube on Eric's television. Eric can't fix it. Eric is still on YouTube, by the way. It still won't do any YouTube in that bedroom, but it's letting me watch the movies. And so I'm like, Eric, I've been going through watching.
I'm gonna try right now. Keep talking. I'm gonna try.
Yeah, it won't let me. It stopped me from watching YouTube on the I don't know why. I can't check anybody's videos. I got a little laptop I talk on here, but it's a little guy, and I have to like. But the God Matrix doesn't want me to watch YouTube for the last 2 days for some reason. But anyway, going back to the movies, there's a lot of these truth drops in these movies. I mean, 100 and all the movies we saw back in the day has completely changed. The font alone in all the movies have changed.
That's weird too. Yeah,
you don't even need to watch the movie. You want a Mandela effect? The font, all of the fonts, all right off the beginning, and the texture of the film has changed, and a lot of different things like the part of the movies changed. Now I'm going to go on a limb here and say that Seth Rogen's movies got better. No, I'm a stoner. I watch stoner movies. His movies were cheesy. They were made on the budget because they're stoner movies. They're gonna turn a dime off stoners. Nobody else in the audience. And his movies were cheesy. And in this timeline, it's reverse. His movies qualities are better. I go,
I'll check out Pineapple Express and see, because that's
all these the Jewish stoners, I call the stoner Jew movies are a little better. I don't know if that makes any sense. There was also a video I keep encouraging people to watch. I'm like, if you haven't watched this movie, I'm going to ask you, why haven't you seen it? It's not a movie. It's on YouTube. And this is one of the first movies that God put in front of my face. He kept putting this movie on my fucking search bar that I've never seen before. And I finally clicked it, and I'm happy I did. It's, and I mentioned it before, it's called Beastie Boys Revisited. Beastie Boys Revisited.
Sure, okay.
And it's by Seth Rogen, and all those little, I call the stoner Jews, all got together and made this movie. And it's all about the Mandela effect.
Really?
It's 100% the Mandela effect. And I keep telling people, if I were to have a class to teach people how to do Mandela, or what is the Mandela effect? The
what's
number
it
one
called? What's it called?
It's called Beastie Boys Revisited. Beastie Boys Revisited. So they made a clip. They made a YouTube movie. It's about maybe 20 minutes long, and it takes you through the Mandela effect. Were the three guys left over from an earlier video they did, a Beastie Boys video? They smash into a small little venue and they steal beer. And as they walk outside the beer, their music's playing and they're marching down the street next to these cars. Now, all these cars are the cars.
On YouTube, you're right.
Yeah, and the cars are Mandela affected, and all the license plates have a numerical value. They even have drones in the sky watching you. The whole damn thing is about Mandela effects. And they meet themselves in the future. Once you watch that movie, we can come back and do a whole fucking show on it, analyzing that movie. It is the Mandela effects. It's about it. And then it goes back and it reverses. The whole show stops and reverses itself back to the beginning again. They do it all over again. They repeat the whole video all over again, like they went back in time. And each time they do it, the background changes, like a shift happened. And so you watch the city start getting uglier and uglier as they march down the second time.
What's it called? Beastie Boys Revisited?
Beastie Boys Revisited.
Yeah, it says it's on. You can watch the whole thing.
Yeah. Is it a music video?
Because look, I found it right. Let me see here.
It's a music video / dialogue / entertaining.
It's right here. Beastie Boys, Five Feet Right, Revisited full length.
Yeah.
Is that it, Bob?
Yeah, that's it. And it's all about the Mandela effect.
They got a DeLorean and everything.
They got a DeLorean. They've also got the Freemason squares, the black and white squares.
Yeah, I'm just looking at them standing on them. Yeah,
they do a symbolic fight at the end. They fight themselves. They fight themselves from the future. You see what I'm saying? It's like this. So they meet themselves from the future, but the older version of themselves, which is Will Ferrell, Jack Black, all the best actors are in it.
Okay, but let me just say something, because our audience is different than like your late night. So apparently, I'm looking as you're talking. They also have a pee fight where they pee on each other. So just to everybody know, if you're going to watch this, be prepared.
It's a funny pee fight, though. It's funny. It's strictly comedy, guys.
I know. I just think it's funny that we got a PSA for the Eric's audience.
Yeah, and so far in my mind, all of these characters, all the protagonists are either Jewish, or they're Messianic Jews, or there's something, or cabal. They're something to do with the whole thing.
It's got some big actors in it, Bob.
Yeah, and
Eli Wood, Danny McBride, Seth
Rogen,
wearing
the VW mug with the old logo towards the end. He's wearing it on his neck.
He's got the Volkswagen symbol on his neck, and it's the old residual.
Yeah, that's a good catch, Robert.
Oh yeah, it came to me. Now let's put it this way: I didn't search it; it came to me on my. It's like God kept putting it in my face. It was sitting on my toolbar, or my search. I go, what is this? I'm a big fan of these guys. I've never seen this before, and it came out in 2005, and it is the Mandela Effect. They even have the air balloons in the sky. They have and they have chemtrails. They show the chemtrails going over the top. They show these air balloons with like cameras, right? I'm like, whoa. It shows the whole streets get dirtier and dirtier as they go further. Like they kept shifting into the video. And it does a weird thing when it rewinds itself and does it all over again. And it's like another shift. Even the colors change. They even, the first round, everything's, I call it MASH 4077 dull. Our old colors were dull because of the old yellow sun. With the new white sun, we have new radiation. So the colors are fluorescent and more plentiful. So the second time in the video, it changes the colors for you. So they had to dull the colors down for you to remember what they used to look like. Then the second round, they opened up the colors vividly, and you go, that's exactly how I saw it in the Mandela Effect. All the colors changed. So they've copied it to the T.
Yeah, and the fact that they make a point of bringing out the Masonic tiles, it's like on a big rolled carpet, and they have to roll it out before they do anything at the end. That's fascinating.
And it's on the DeLorean, and they say in the video, "We are from the future. We are your future selves." And they're talking to them younger selves. We are your future selves, and what we are going to do here is going to change everything in the future. They say it like they stress it. What we're about to do here is going to change everything. Like it's like we are all involved in some sort of huge test. They say it in the show.
Just real quick, I'm putting that link, Bob, of that Beastie Boys in the chat. So in case people want to click on it. So here it is. That's the link to that Beastie Boys Revisited.
Look for the cars, guys. Look for the cars. Look for the Mandela Effect cars and the changes in the cars. Look at any number you see. You do the math for any license plate number and any number you see. You're going to look for the chemtrails. You're going to look for anything, any UFO, any unidentified, any object in the sky. Mark all those down. You might have to watch it twice. I watched it 5-6 times, and I'm still taking notes. It's got so much information.
Well, a lot of people said they saw the link, but they never watched it. I never did either.
Oh, you guys won't believe this thing. It's filled with Mandela effects on purpose. There's a big difference between, I call it the God Matrix, changing it so Ceiling Fan Man can see a blur the next day. And then there's a movie like this that was directly made for you to see by humans, not by the God Matrix, where he's deliberately wearing the residuals. So for you to see, you go, oh, it's the residual.
I wonder, there is actually a brand new Beastie Boys documentary now that's out on Apple TV.
Yeah.
Where the two of the meaning three goes on stage and they go through the history of the Beastie Boys. I wonder, there's some Mandela effects on that documentary.
Oh, they're in the video too. Well, Beastie Boys, the actual Beastie Boys are in the video. The real Beastie Boys are in the video, yeah. They are the. I don't want to give it away, but who cares? It's fine. They're the police officers. I'm going to give them credit. They're the police officers at the end of the video. So if you guys, it's one of the last, and this is the funny part. One of the I can't remember which one he is. He died of lung cancer. In my time, he died of lung cancer. One of the Beastie Boys, and he in 2005, I think he was already dead. To me, he died already. But in 2005, he's in the video. He's in the video. The guy who died, the Beastie Boy. I can't remember which one it is. Mike D. I can't remember which one it is. He died, and so you get to see him again alive in 2005 video. This video.
I got a weird thing. I have a question. Maybe this is just me. I'm going to share my screen again, Eric.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't remember capital spelled that way. Is that just me? I thought it was capital. Now it's capital. Am I wrong there? Maybe I'm wrong.
I can't see it. I can't.
Weird.
Tell.
I can see the word capital. I just can't remember.
With an O there? I don't know. It just looked weird to me. But you know what? That's what this Mandela stuff does.
Long. You're right. It does look extra long.
It just looks weird. To me, that was an A, capital. But maybe I'm... This Mandela thing is weird because then it just starts making you question everything.
Capital.
Was
that an A at the end?
That's what I thought, but maybe I'm...
My mind must have gone to an A.
See, that's what I thought, too.
Sometimes
that's how this is. Like, I don't even know anymore. Like, everything...
No, I can't spell, but what happens is because I have a brain problem, I'll see a word and I still can't spell the word, but however, I'll stare at it.
Oh, hold on.
I'll be confused by it. I'm like,
Oxide Road, today it's spelled capital, Capital.
Okay. So the O is an old way of spelling it, maybe.
But Capitol Records was always with an O and not an A?
Capital is a place of capital is money.
But the record was always an O?
Okay.
Maybe that's what it is. That could be.
Capital and a capital. They
shows
both
that we're human.
Now, Mike says it both existed for him.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, that's
the way. I used to be I excelled in English. I was a teacher's aide. I got A's. I was an amazing speller. In this new world, fuck it, man. I mean, a lot is now a parking lot. A lot. I mean, come on. There's some weird. The lemna is now. I mean, it's like there's so many weird things that are changing.
I like it. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I can't spell. I can never. My brain doesn't.
None of us can, right?
Never can. And so when I see everyone talk about these Mandela effect spellings, I'm embarrassed because it's easier for me to spell it the present way, the way it's changed. I'm like, I'm not hating that spelling, man. I'm like, I can spell it better that way. I like it that way.
Yeah, dilemma never made sense with the N.
Yeah, the silent N, it's the silent N.
The word Mandela effect, and Bob, like you said, the musician Mike who died from the Beastie Boys. Now, 3 of the original Ramones are dead out of the 4. Is there any Mandela effect there? Because it's kind of weird that 3 of the bandmates died and only 1 survived.
Is weird.
Except when they got a new person in the band later on, they fire. I don't know all their names, but Joey Ramone,
the brother.
We only kind of know the first 2, and then after that, it's the band.
Yeah.
It's like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. You know what I mean? It's like we don't give a shit about those guys. It's just you can't name the name of these people. Like what's the other guy that? What's the one that was in all the Back to the Future movies? Huey Lewis.
Huey Lewis.
News. It's like.
Huey Lewis and the News.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It makes me think of that one of my favorite jokes that Norm Macdonald ever did. He does the whole thing, if you ever can find it, about the Fantastic Four and how the guy that gets to name everyone, the guy that turns to fire, he's the flame, the girl turns invisible, she's Invisigirl, and the dude's just a giant rock, he's the Thing, and then he named himself that he can stretch really far, Mr. Fantastic. And it's like a 5-minute thing about, wait a minute, why are you Mr. Fantastic and a stretchy guy? And he's like, hey, so it's just really funny. It's kind of like that.
Yeah. How is he fantastic? Well, there's a lot of ways that he could get that name fantastic. I mean,
he got to name everyone. He's Mr. Fantastic,
I'm sure that name started with I bet the women started that nickname first, and it just stuck.
There you go. Gotta go there.
Oh, that guy's fantastic. Oh my God, it's fantastic.
Now, Bob, is there any Mandela effect in the Ramon symbol? I'm trying to see if there is. I can't remember.
There's
But
no
it got
stars.
the name Johnny, Joey,
There's no stars.
and Tommy.
There's no stars above the stripes in the crest.
Oh yeah, right on the eagle's head. You're right.
Yeah,
That.
there's no stars in that crest.
I think that's changed on the other crest, the real one too, hasn't it?
Talk about now above the bird, I see the arrows and I see the stars going in a circle.
No, below his head, the black area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's all black. That was covered.
And this is off the Ramones official website, so this is their actual website. So this is not a third party person doing a Ramones.
Well,
page.
they're mimicking the presidential seal.
Yeah.
But at least they're spelling Johnny with an H. I used to watch Johnny Quest, and he lost his H.
Wait a minute, there's 2 N's in Johnny.
Is that right?
There's only 1 N. He only had 1 N. There's 2
I don't know.
N's. Look at JOHNNY. There was only 1 N.
That's a good one.
I didn't know him that well, so
Well, yeah, I mean, they wouldn't give an extra. I don't remember him ever having an extra N. Like, I mean, you kind of would. We had an Uncle Johnny. He only had 1 N, and I've never noticed anybody use a double N in Johnny before. I've never noticed. I mean, I would have noticed if Johnny Ramone would have used an extra N, because you would say, "Oh, look, because my Uncle Johnny."
Look. Hey.
What's up, guys?
Hey, somebody woke up. Good morning.
Yeah, I just woke up. I wasn't sure
that.
what
I
time.
said, he's doing a stream, and it was after midnight. I went to bed. I figured you'd stay up longer, and you'd probably sleep in.
Yeah. I just did my stream till like 2, and then I went out and drove Uber for a little bit. So I didn't get home till about 3 something.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
we don't usually do shows at 8 a.m., but since we didn't do one the last 2 days, and it's the only time I could do it,
We figured you'd come on.
Yeah. I appreciate
Eric,
y'all having me on.
Have you seen this one, Eric?
let me see.
We're just doing dissecting things. You're easy.
Do you see this,
What's
Eric?
that?
Yeah,
Johnny Quest.
it's Johnny
There's
Quest.
no H. Where does H go? I used to watch this show. That's messed up right there.
Oh, yeah.
I love this show. Are you kidding?
They replaced an N with the H.
Was this guy's name Punjab or something? I don't remember.
Great. My computer froze.
Yeah, I was trying to think of that dude's name.
Yeah, but
Hey,
no,
Bob,
wait. That's a
Can
weird
you guys
one.
hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you guys hear me? Because I'm frozen.
You are frozen.
We're just looking
Oh,
at
can
some
you hear
cool
me?
ass pictures of Johnny Quest.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can
here
hear
we go.
you.
Here we go. Hey, let me ask Rasta Bear. Hey, Rasta Bear, have you ever followed the band The Ramones?
A little bit.
Do you? Because Bob Johnny's name has 2 N's now. That's why I was curious if you remember if he had 1 N.
I think I do remember him having 1 in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eric got kicked off. I'm looking up the numbers. So
Hey, we took over the show.
N is 5. So N is 5. I'm just looking at my little chart here. So N is the numerical number for N is 5, which is a prime, and then the H, which is the missing part, is the H. So that one, and that's
Kick
8.
me out. Stringyard kicked me out.
So
You know what, Eric, we didn't miss you.
Fuck you guys.
An 8. So H is an 8. It's a compound, which goes down to 1, goes to nothing, and then 5 is a prime. So that's okay. I'm just doing the math on the number. Every time I see a letter that's missing or a letter that's there or been swapped, I immediately try to find the numerical value for it.
Now, you guys do see the Rasta Bear picture on that desk, don't you?
Where? Oh yeah.
Look next to Sunny Fan Man, the president. There's a picture on the desk of Rasta Bear.
Oh, that's awesome.
Perfect.
President
He's the go-to
Sling.
guy. So it's good to have you on, dude. Like I said, we've done this before. We just go on, and usually the guests will jump on somewhere down the line. We don't care.
Yeah, no, this is great. Like I said last night was my first time on StreamYard, and I just tested it out just for the show, honestly. But I turned it on and started streaming. I was only going to go for like 5 minutes, and then people started jumping on the stream, and so I ended up going for like 2 hours and 33 minutes.
Wow, 33 minutes.
Exactly, it was the 33 minutes. But yeah, it was a great live stream. I had a lot of fun. I just kept rambling on, and
That worked.
and yeah, I've got quite a bit I can ramble about. So
What I found, because I don't like running my own when I do it, I do them, but I always try to have at least one other person because it sure takes all the pressure off. You know, if you run out of things to say, then they're fired up on something. So
Yeah.
I actually was watching your stream yesterday, Rasta. I just didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to jump in. I wanted, oh, they're jumping in.
That's how I have a lot of people's streams, man. I go in there, I'll just maybe put a quick symbol and then I try not to, because I don't want to get into deep conversation. I want to be lazy. I want to watch your stuff. I don't want to be involved in this.
Isn't that funny too? Because I have content, I have a channel, so when I go in there, sometimes it's 10 minutes of people saying hello, which I love it. I love the fact that people are saying hi to me because these are my friends now, and but it sometimes it's tough because maybe you just want to sit back and listen and you don't want to be rude to anyone. The fact that they're saying hello is really sweet. So.
Yeah,
when you're on your phone, you got to type all those letters in, and somebody's got like a really long screen name.
Yeah, you have to say hi to everybody, which is fine. It's nice, but yeah, like you say, it's nice to just lurk sometimes and
I know Karen does it a lot. Every once in a while, someone will say something, and all of a sudden she'll pop in. You go, she's been here the whole time.
You said lurk.
Yeah, a lot of times I'm just listening, but I'm out driving or something, and I try not to type or ban people while I'm driving, but it happens sometimes.
Let me ask you a question, Rasta. Let me ask you a question. Would you say you're more involved in the flat Earth versus Mandela effect, or is it reverse, or are you involved in both communities?
I would say both equally. I got into the flat Earth community pretty early on. I would say around 2015 or so, like right when it was starting to get out in social media. I actually, my first introduction to flat Earth was probably back in like 2009, when Nas and Damian Marley did a song called "Patience," and in that song, one of the verses is the Earth was flat. If you went to the edge, you would fall off. Now the Earth is round. If it changed shape again, everybody would have start laugh. And that verse alone got me thinking that, maybe what we are taught is not correct. And then, a lot of the videos started to come out, around late 2014, early 2015. And I was into researching a lot of topics then and stumbled upon it. And, I was really excited because, I spent a couple days researching it right away and was just blown away. And I was very naive that, other people would be really receptive to the information. And so I had a Facebook account then, and, I got on there and, was really vocal about it. And that's when I really, encountered a lot of the ridicule and, the just outright just people insulting me left and right, friends not wanting to talk to me anymore, and, the whole 9 yards. And, honestly, that kept pushing me in the right direction, though. I'm like, wow, I'm really onto something here. This is some powerful stuff. If it's really, if it's triggering people that heavily.
Yeah.
See, the reason why I was asking, just because if you look at our panel, I've started on YouTube doing mostly paranormal before Bob and I. He did Mandela Effect until we kind of joined together. And Silly Fun Man has his own show. does mostly Mandela effect. But I don't know if you talk a little bit about flat Earth, but the meetup we did last week, it didn't matter how long you even talked about flat Earth. 10 years.
I don't think we even talked about flat Earth the entire time.
No. The first time I even ever talked about flat Earth on my channel was like 6 months ago. I've never talked about flat Earth before, but it didn't matter at that meetup. We were all like friends. We're all love each other. And like you said, Cindy Family, I don't know if we talked about flat Earth while we're there.
And like even on my videos, I put things in it that obviously show how I feel, but I've never openly just discussed it because it's just like, I don't know. It's not that it just it's something that I feel I need urgency to talk about because like you figure that out on your own, and there's no point in me trying to force it. And
the message I'm trying to get at here is people who are in different communities, because we have all different people in our chat from different communities, paranormal, everywhere. If there's a community meetup, you should go, even if it's not your direct main source. You know, if you're not a flat earther, don't worry about it. Go to these communities because they're fun. You'll see that these people are normal, regular people, just like you, and you might understand things more if you take a chance, a leap of faith, and start going outside your own community and talk to people.
There was an energy release that day. It was I don't even know how to explain it, but you guys all felt it.
Yeah.
We went there. I just wanted to meet like-minded people. It wasn't anything about flat Earth at all. We didn't talk about it. And I know Mark Sargent set it up and Dottie set it up and they're flat Earth. But again, people there, it wasn't anything about that. It was just a bunch of like-minded people getting together. And there was an energy charge. I can't even describe it because we all felt exhausted. Did you, Rasta, too?
I was exhausted.
Yeah.
Body was weak, man. I was tapped. My energy was
messed up the matrix big time. And I'll go over this again in case someone wasn't in the chat before. So first off, it was pouring rain. Just monsoon kind of rain.
It was.
We chose an area that was enclosed that had a covering. It was like a little picnic area with tables. So we were under that mostly. There was 2 parking lots. They were both completely full. It was quarantine. So you're under quarantine and it was pouring rain. And yet there were so many people that had to go to this park that day. There was really nowhere to park. That was the first thing. The second thing was there was all these cars and no one there. Okay, just us. The third thing was people were walking around in masks. One guy was walking a dog. So he decided to walk his dog in the pouring rain under quarantine, which he believed in because he had a mask. That made no sense. And then let's go to the lady in red. The lady in red was a small Asian woman. We can all see her face still because she walked past us about a dozen times, back and forth. She had a matching red umbrella. She was completely dressed in red, and she stared at us. No matter which way she was walking in her mask, she'd look at us back and forth. And she was doing this awkward kind of like walk, jog, like I'm exercising. But again, none of it made sense. If you believe in quarantine, why are you outside in your mask in the pouring rain? And why are you exercising? And why do you keep staring at us? And why do you walk the same 10 steps rather than go somewhere else? There was also a crane, which that's something that happens to me. I see these freaking cranes everywhere, including all on Voynage's stream. And
one of my favorite parts.
I'm sorry?
One of my favorite parts was your Jedi mind tricks.
Oh yeah, we got to go on that one next. But the and it was like it glitched out too because it never moved. It stayed there all day. We kept looking at it. I took pictures of it. It's just sitting there. So there was a lot of glitches going on, and I truly believe, Robert and Rasta, I think it was the energy field we were creating. We screwed that whole area because none of it made sense. Right, Rasta? You saw the woman in red.
Oh yeah, I did. I'm very observant. You know, a lot of times when that's a cute little puppy. Yeah, whenever I'm in places, I really am extra observant. And yeah, that woman in red definitely. She kept checking it out. Like she thought, she's like, that is strange. What's going on over there? And and we're
And did they
looking
do
at
that in the Matrix? There was a woman in red. I mean, it just was so
Woman in Red.
It was
Yeah.
so
Classic. It was so fake. It was like the environment was fake. The rain was impossibly coming down. There shouldn't be anybody walking or driving. You should have pulled over and wait for the storm to pass.
Remember
The
that guy? He had a little dog too. It was a small dog. What the frick was he doing?
The dog is drowning, man. It's drowning. Why are you? The dog didn't bother the dog. Like little machine dog. I'm like, this is fucking freaky, man.
It was so weird.
This ain't normal. This is not normal.
and then the like I say the Jedi mind tricks when the park guy pulled up in his truck, and it was ceiling fan man, and then I forget which was it.
It was Robert. So I'll tell you real quick. It was the guy shows up in his truck. He's the park ranger dude, and there's about what do you got? We have like a dozen people under the thing there. And we didn't even break the caution tape. We ducked under. We were being respectful, you know. We stuck flat earth stickers on it, but whatever. And the guy rolls up in his little pickup truck, and Robert goes over there to talk to him, and he starts saying, you know, what's up? And the guy picked. Then I figured, you know, I'll go help. I'll go stand next to him and see.
Yeah,
the
another
guy
adult.
picks up his cell phone. He's calling the cops. I mean, and he's angry, right, Robert? Like you could just see the anger.
He
on
was
his face,
angry.
like,
Anger.
that NPC look like. You know, and so Robert's like, "Hey, you know, just tell us what is it that you like." I'm like, "Yeah, we can do what you want, man. We can
You're in charge. What do you want us to do?
Whatever you want, man." And then all of a sudden, you just saw it like in the Matrix, like, and then his look was more like this, and he goes, "I guess the rules don't apply to everyone." And he put his phone down, and he drove off. And we're like, dude, that just happened. It was totally
just happened.
the droids you're looking for. Like we right, Robert? We just totally.
These aren't the droids you're looking for. These aren't the droids you're looking for. These aren't the droids I'm looking for.
Oh, it's fantastic.
That's not human. That's
He
not
could have joined us. He could have joined us.
No conversation. No.
That was really all he said to us. So I almost
He
he
was
was
pissed
probably
at
like the
first,
rest of that Matrix.
He was. You saw his face shit. Pissed, man. Pissed. He was gonna do. He hated everybody there. There wasn't any anger in that man. When I walked up, I felt anger in him. Anger.
I felt it was emanating out of there. He still had the phone in his hand, ready to just hit the button.
I think he was pissed because he's been playing by their stupid rules for months, and he saw us just having a good time, just like totally ignoring the rules. And you know, he's like, "Well, you guys aren't allowed to do it if I'm not allowed to." And then it clicked in him. Maybe now he won't follow the rules either. So
yeah, maybe it broke him. Maybe because he saw everyone laughing. We were all in the group, but we're like, "Don't say too loud." He was a nice guy. He was a great guy. Say it like don't say anything. He was a wonderful guy. You know, so you can hear it now that he's right up the road. He's still listening. Remember, he didn't go very far.
No.
He's got a speed dial button, man. It's a speed dial. It wasn't like he's calling the police. It's on speed dial.
oh yeah. No,
And I swear his face looked like that NPC character. The eyes were kind of tilted, and he was just like, I'm going to call.
Of course, we picked a pretty good day where the police were probably pretty occupied anyway at that point. Like, a lot of people got like special alert messages while we were having the meeting.
Yeah, right?
There was a curfew going on at like 6 p.m. They were like,
Yeah, they shut down Seattle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely nutty.
Yeah, and you drove all the way from Oregon to Washington for this.
Yeah, from Portland, and it was quite the drive. I don't mind the drive, but yeah, on the way back I got a little bit tired.
But didn't you think it was so odd, all the cars and even the amount of people that were there besides us in the pouring rain? It just seems so weird.
It was. That's how people in the Pacific Northwest operate, though. You know, we don't let a little bit of rain get us down.
No, I agree, but that guy walking the dog and that lady in red were weird.
Well,
but you're right. Where are all those people that matches the cars? Where are all those people?
Yeah.
There's more cars than the people.
Way more cars. Way more cars. Like, yeah.
we had to walk Eric and I had to walk up a hill in the like. I sound like an old man talking about going to school. We had to walk uphill in the snow, 100 miles to get there. No, we walked uphill, and the water rain was coming down. My shoes I wore regular walking shoes. They were soaked. I go, where are these people for these cars?
Yeah, there was so many cars. There was no one there. It was mostly us.
These people.
We saw the same like 6 people walk back and forth, and there was like it had to have been at least 50 cars there.
Yeah, and there's nobody
lots. They
there.
were both full.
Nobody in the park. Nobody in the park except for the walking people that just kept walking the same route back and forth in the pouring down rain.
And we were so enthralled in talking to each other and sharing experiences and actually feeling the energy force from each one of us that we actually none of us talked about what we saw until later in the day. And we all tried to share our experience. Like, yeah, I saw that guy, and yeah, I saw that woman, and where were those people, and what was he doing? And yeah, we didn't even talk about it because it was really so surreal.
We were experiencing it. We were actually experiencing it.
And then Bob experienced a fun night because we got some special brownies.
Oh yeah, those brownies, man. I ate one of those just like 2 nights ago, and man, it was a heavy experience.
I tell you, the truther people are the best people on earth. Let me tell you, I had the best time with all you guys.
It's the best weed I have had in years.
Yeah.
I don't want to say names or anything, but
the gift I have no idea where you got it, but man,
no,
really
the gift package that was handed out. It's the best stuff I have had. This bud is loved.
Best party favor I've ever had. No,
I agree.
The flavor is good. Going in, you don't need everything. I'm every night I've been at Eric since that. Well, God sent her down or sent the whatever angels to give us some good stuff. I have been having chill moments, dude. That stuff.
We've been enjoying the heck out of your streams on those brownies too. Let me tell you.
Oh, did you guys watch the one that I posted like on Wednesday when Bob was on the brownies during the Matrix show?
Yeah. That kid had no idea what was coming his way.
Bob was talking about how cows become whales. We're like, what the fuck? Cows become whales?
I saw it.
I like that guy too. That young man that you're on, and his audience, I don't think is used to you guys.
No,
especially not Robert on brownies. Like if you want to see Robert on brownies, you got to go to the late night show. But most people can't deal with that one. I love it.
We were on his show. You're right. They don't know who the fuck we are.
He was losing control. He didn't know what to say. It was really funny. I'm sure it helped his channel.
Yeah, those things made you loopy, I swear. Like you know, they were creepers too. You know, you'd eat the brownie, and then about an hour later is when it really started to just like destroy you. And
I'm like, wow. I stayed outside almost the whole night, just like, oh wow.
Oh, hear this, hear this. This is Bob. Okay, I pulled the 2 brownies out of my jacket. Bob's like, you know, I better take those from you because we don't want your kids to accidentally take them.
Yeah, he's really looking out for your children. That's really nice of him, you know.
Yes. But I gave his oldest son one. He was like, holy shit. I said, told you, dude.
I saw a promo. You're gonna destroy Brian's show soon. Is that what you guys doing?
I'm just checking on the dog.
Oh yeah, he's there. We're checking the dog. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I saw a promo. You're gonna destroy Brian and Karen's channel soon. Is that what's going on?
Oh, we're gonna go on there pretty soon. They invited us to come on here. Come on, it's like 2 weeks time, whatever. We're gonna go on there. It's gonna be fun.
Hopefully, Karen watches a few more of these before that happens.
Yeah, that's right. We got invited to the
You
realm.
gotta give me a back door so I can sword with you guys. You know, we gotta.
Yeah, that's a lot. You know, honestly, what the meetup felt a lot like was a Stavely meetup, because like almost everybody that was at the meetup was always in Brian and Karen's chat as well.
Well, we all got started there somehow in some way, for sure.
Yeah. Endorsed. I call it endorsed. He endorsed us, which was nice. Didn't have to do it, man. I would not. I mean, I've never been endorsed. So, like, who endorsed us?
And remember, Bob, when he endorsed us, when he came on our show, we only had 600 subs at that time.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
so small potatoes that he didn't have to. You know, we were small
Yeah.
potatoes.
He's got the little magic touch, and like the other night, I don't do streams very well. I did one, and Karen shows up, so that's really nice because they have a huge audience, and it is a big deal. So they've been doing it way longer than any of us, and have inspired quite a few people in the chat too. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. That Brian shows a big reason why I started putting out content in general, just because he encourages people to do that, and it's like the next step in the process. In my opinion.
Yeah.
Share what
And
you've learned.
the synchronicities of this world just trip me out all the time.
It is.
Karen's the reason I figured out flat Earth. It was her video. Same with my wife, and same with my parents. And then speaking of my parents, Brian keeps going to my hometown. Now, all the places on Earth that he could go visit, and when I look at the house they're staying at, it might even be on the same street as my parents. It's really weird.
Wow.
It trips me out when they drive around, and that's where I grew up. Like all the places, and I didn't know this guy 3 years ago. I don't know who, and now like that's why I make the joke that he's on
your home street.
He's always stalking me because he's in my town. It's weird. It'd be like if I vacationed in Centralville, wherever.
Yeah. Yeah. Weird. And then film down the block from where he used to live.
Yeah,
or he lives now.
Yeah, it's so weird to see your old house and neighborhood and your school and your I went to the grocery store yesterday with my parents. You know what I mean? It's like, well, not yesterday, but you know what I mean? It's just weird. It's weird.
Yeah, California is a pretty big state for him. It's quite the coincidence. Yeah, that your exact town.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Be like watching your hometown on TV all the time. It's so
we're Californians. Eric and I are Californians too. We're from California.
Fresno.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys are StreamYard experts. I mean, ceiling fan. Sean Baker accidentally blocked. How did we get here? And only you can undo my mistake. You think he's talking about he blocked himself? I have to unblock.
Well, how could he block himself if he's writing? So he's here.
I'm trying to figure out how do I fix it. Who got blocked?
Well, you have to go into your actual settings and unblock him.
Okay, then I'll do it after the show.
Yeah, you have to actually go into your underneath comments. Is like I think underneath comments, and you got to go into then you got to go. Yeah, actually physically remove somebody from your little block list. It's hard to do.
I don't read the chat often, but I happened to catch one from Singe Man saying he was following Robert way back when he was drunk and sword fighting. And my comment to that is, nothing's changed. So I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. We do that all the time.
2016. Well, I've been doing the same thing since 2016. So
no, I know. I'm relatively new to you. So yes. I think it's
I've
funny.
been doing this since 2016, and then me and Bob did a show together in 2017. And after 2 shows, I got taken down.
Yeah.
Big bastard.
Yeah.
His show never got taken down. He
No.
does 2 shows, just 2 shows on mine, and I get taken down. And he's done already 100.
Oh,
You gotta be on
God.
my next live stream, Robert. I gotta see how this works.
Over 1,000. I've got videos.
He's out. And 1, 2, 3, he's out. But it's a good pose.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
This always happens, Rasta.
From 2016.
Oh,
I'm back.
There you
That
go.
was weird. Okay. But I knew back then, that's why I kept my name the same. Everyone says, dude, you're not going to get any subs. I even I have a person who helps me on YouTube, a coder. You need to change your name. And I can't change my name because I know what's going to happen down the line in like 3 years. So I need to keep the same name to fuck up the AI. The AI is going to let me go. It's going to I'm not a harm to anyone if I just keep putting the same title name. I won't hit any radar. So I've glided all the way through to even present day, and I'm still up. I've got no problem.
So you're leaving a wake of channels just destroyed in your wake, and you're still just going the same.
Yeah, I'm still going. I kept the same name. So everyone's like, you're going to change your name. You're not going to I don't care about subs. I'm not here for subs. I'm here to wake people up. I'm here to find people like you guys. You know, I'm here to find people. I'm not here to make any fuck. I'm not gonna. There's no trophy for Mandela effect. There's no trophy for flat Earth. There's no contest.
No.
So I'm here to find people like-minded, wake them up, and we can all have that same crazy discussion. Like, what the fuck is going on with our fucking beautiful planet? What or the back of the turtle? Everything's weird.
You know,
You know, are you guys seeing weird shit too? That's what I have the channel for. Oh, that and get people off narcotics.
Hey, let's do a shout outs. First time I've seen Glowbusters in the chat. I appreciate him joining. I
cool.
Glowbusters in the house.
Yeah, I want to thank him for
one. Yeah, Sean Becker, Mad Pyman.
Oh yeah, shout out.
Yeah, Sean Becker. He's been watching us for a long time. He's been one of the originals.
And I've seen Doc Michael a lot. And Zulu was one of the very first people that was super nice to me. I didn't know what was going on in this community.
Well, now that we have a flat earther on the side, I want to stress to you guys, if you're flat earther and you grow, if you have a grow operation, please put, I don't care, put something like flat earth grown, flat grown, something on the bottom. So when I buy weed, I know it's coming from a flat earther. I know it sounds weird, but I know it's going to be good.
Yeah,
Hold on,
no,
Bob.
I hear you.
Bob, are you saying
If you
flat
just
earthers
put
make the best weed? Is that
Yes,
what you're
you
saying?
do.
Are you making that statement?
I'm making 100% because if that's the same, because this loved stuff is we got from over there. If these flat earthers are producing and growing to make their money, this is how they're making a living. Good for you. Make sure you put on there flat growth or flat grown or you know, like flat grown, even flat
Grow
grown.
on flat ground.
Yes. So I know when I buy weed, it comes from a flat earther. That's what I'm trying to do.
That was an important PSA from Bobby Fake Pants.
I'm serious. Please put flat grown so when I buy your weed, I know it's going to be quality.
I'm on board. I think that's
Yeah.
good. Because you're probably
That'd be
not
great.
getting chemicals and crap, too.
Yeah.
That'd be a great name for a farm, the Flat Earth Farms.
Yeah. Flat Earth Farms. Yes. Flat grown. Flat Earthers should get together and have their own flat grown weed, man. You know that shit's going to be good.
Yeah, well, the dream one day would be to have, you know, our own commune or our own town. I think it was Flat Earth Fokker who was trying to talk about that before all this, you know, corona and stuff broke out. Was, you know, trying to start like a GoFundMe or whatever for this, because I think it's if you get more than 5 acres, you can establish yourself as a town.
Oh yeah.
I've actually been. It's interesting bringing this up because I was talking about somebody to someone else about the same thing, and I do know where there is some acreage in Washington, and so we'll look into if there's something we can do. I have someone that's in the Truth community that's that has law experience, is a criminal lawyer, so they know some stuff, and then some other people that are talking about, you know, how you'd put it together. But if anybody in the chat has information or ideas, I think at least for the West Coast, because there's a lot of us out here. I mean, everyone on this screen is not that far away from each other. And you got your name from Owen, and he's right out. He's like literally 30 minutes from me. And so there's a lot of people in the Northwest. And I'm sure in every state there's a group like this. And we need to somehow find each other like we're doing. There's
and if we even had like a handful or two of people just pitch in a little bit of money, I mean, land isn't that expensive. You know, if everyone was to contribute, then you know, every community or FEMA region could get together and, you know, get their own group together.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you want to go out there, my thought is this: if this whole system, the beast system, Babylon, is crashing down, and we know we're supposed to, you know, back off and just watch it happen, so then whoever still wants to be part of it, I honestly think they're moving on. Because if you look at the what's that map that they have that Jen and Steve were showing on their channel, the Agenda 21 map, and it shows the United States unlivable, but it says, you know, very limited. So let's say they have all those ghost cities in China where I still believe we were sold to. So what if they offer people, look, you can live in this cesspool of the United States because it's all garbage now, or you can come with us and we've built these beautiful cities and you can live wonderful, and everyone goes there, and then they just leave us, and then we build our little communities and we start living, enjoying life without having those idiots around. That could be an ending. It doesn't have to end the way that is written in here, because this thing's corrupted. I know that. We can write our own ending. God's listening.
Yeah.
He's in charge. You don't think he doesn't know what's going on with the Granani? He's
the one
probably
who woke us.
doing it. Look what's happened. We're all sitting at home. We can't go to this work that he doesn't want us to do. We're with our family. We're out of the Luciferian schools teaching our children sex education at 5. That's what they want to do in Washington State. Start sex education in kindergarten. Okay? So this isn't actually a bad thing. I know some people are struggling, but I think if they find their inner strength and they find God or their creator or however they do it, everybody we talk to at this meetup, their lives have improved.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
It just sounds insane because the world's crashing down. Nothing makes sense. We've been lied to our whole lives, and my life's getting better. My children are doing okay. Yeah, they're having struggles, but my God, we've all had struggles through our life.
Yeah,
I'm still here, and everybody on here and in the chat, they have a roof over their head, they've got food in their belly, and they have enough money to be on the internet. So, you know, there's a lot of people struggling, but these people aren't. I mean, not that we aren't, but you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like,
one of my favorite sayings by Owen Benjamin in regards to the bear community, and it can apply to the whole truther community, is that nobody's having more fun than us.
Absolutely.
We're having the most fun, or like Brian Staveley would say, we're the fucking best.
Yeah.
I want money for this idea, because see, this is flat earth beer. If you look at this beer, you'll see the word flat earth.
Yeah.
I think I'd make a lot of money off the flat earth beer. Pure organic beer, right, Bob?
You know what?
Make it organic.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll make it with some meat in it.
Is it flat though when you open it?
Oh,
yeah.
That's
that
a
might
good
be
one.
a marketing problem, Eric. Yeah.
You don't put flat on beer. You get the wrong impression.
See, that's why you have a think tank like this.
Yeah. You don't put flat on beer. You put it has good head.
You have the logo, flat earth beer without the flatness. I don't know.
You have a beer. You have a beer that says it has good head. It gives good head.
Look. Zulu said there already is flat earth beer.
The motto could be the earth is flat, but the beer is not.
Yeah.
You gotta get him on your marketing campaign, but apparently someone's already done it. So
yeah, almost every great idea is been the world
under the sun.
It's nothing under the sun.
But do they have a logo? But do they have the logo dog? See, we got the dog.
Yeah.
But what about my idea? What about my idea? Beer gives good head.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm pretty sure that one's been around for a minute.
You know what's fascinating when you start looking into this? There's so much of it in our culture, and I didn't even realize it. That line about there's nothing new under the sun came from here. In fact, I didn't know that whole song by the Birds or something. Everything turn. There is a season, turn.
Yeah.
It's straight. All they did was just take the lyrics right out of here. It's word for word, and they stuck music to it. Like, I had no idea. That's like Ecclesiastes.
I'm trying to find.
All that song is, they literally just they copyright infringement the Bible. They didn't even change really anything and just stuck it in the song. It's fascinating. I had no idea how much of this is in our culture, and yet they don't pretend it doesn't exist.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that came from the Bible.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I'm trying to find it here.
I think he's right. I think I found it.
Here it is. It says, let's see here.
Flat Earth Brewing Company?
He's talking Bible and Eric's still doing beer. I love it.
Flat Earth Brewing Company. No, that's what it says. Flat Earth Brewing Company. I guess there is.
All right. Next great idea. You got to move on from this one, Eric.
Another one bites the dust.
That's the thing about the Bible. It's hard to look into pages.
Let's see. I'm trying to find where it says there's nothing new under the sun. If it's in Ecclesiastes, that's for sure.
But that whole song by the Birds it's a whole passage, word for word, basically.
Well,
Yeah,
here's
that's the same. That's the same with a lot of reggae songs. They either quote, Psalms or different parts of the Bible, in their songs, and that's one.
That's what I want to ask you, Rasta Bear. That's the question I want to ask you. Thank you for bringing it up to synchronicity. Thank you for bringing it. Okay, now you are aware of the changes. Obviously, you know the Bible has changed, and the lion is no longer laying with the lambs, and the lion is a huge representation for Rastafarian religion, based right out of the Bible. Right out of the lion, Sasa. They named after the lion specifically from the Bible. Now that the wolf is there, what? How does that affect? Do you know about Rastafari? You obviously know about Rastafarianism.
Oh, yeah.
How does it affect that religion? Because the lion is not there.
The verse where the Rastas get the lion from is the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, which Rastafari, Emperor Haile Selassie, he was the direct descendant from King David through the Queen of Sheba.
Okay.
And so that's where, because he basically declared himself to be the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, and elect of God. And so that's where that verse comes from. But there is, there is references to the lion and the lamb in some reggae songs. Even as well as the, there's other Mandela effects in reggae too, like. There's one of more recent songs. This artist Chris Martin did a song called "Mirror Mirror," and it's mirror mirror just the way we remember it.
Yeah.
Instead of magic mirror.
Oh wow! Yeah, 'cause I knew.
Did I almost moon you guys?
Yeah.
Well, I was making sure that the dog don't pee on Bob's clothes because the dog still has bathroom problems in the house. But don't worry, your clothes not peed on yet.
Please don't let him piss on my clothes. No, but like I said, back to reggae. There's a lot of reggae is out of the Bible. Like from what you remember from Sagittarius. I'm using flat earthers. I'm just using the term as a label. I know Sagittarius arm. That's how I kind of separate, like a page separation. So Sagittarius arm version of the Bible. A lot of reggae was based out of that book. A lot because Ethiopia was It's the cool thing about Ethiopia is I keep telling everybody that Ethiopia has the complete Bible, the complete
exactly. Yeah,
Bible.
in Ethiopia is where they rediscovered the Book of Enoch.
That's a really good book to read for sure.
It is. I just started getting into that. I got a hard copy of it along with the rest of the Apocrypha. And it's really interesting because it gives you a lot more insight to the fallen angels and how Cain was not the seed of Adam but the seed of the serpent, and how they the serpent impregnated Eve, and then she went to Adam and was impregnated with Abel, and so the seed of Cain has never been eradicated from this realm, and a lot of people see them as the elite bloodline.
They're the RH negative. I've actually know that whole. I unfortunately am part of that Cain line.
Well, this is what Ghostbusters wrote. Magella is becoming more and more prevalent in every facet of life. Yeah. I have a theory on it that I will discuss with Brian Staveley at some point. Reality is a lot different than we think it is. But let me ask you guys about the reggae. I mean, Rasta Bear knows the story because we told this story to Rasta Bear at the meetup. In case anybody else doesn't know, when Bob and I were kids, we were at a swimming pool, Kerman Town swimming pool, and I said, "Hey," and then they turned off the phones. I said, "Hey, Bob, that's called Jamaica. That's called Peter Tosh."
Yeah, I remember that.
Peter Tosh was awesome, and so Bob and I. And a couple guys, we not broke into it. We opened the door magically to use the phone. So we actually called Jamaica. They transferred us to the estate of Peter Tosh, and I go, "Hey, can we talk to Peter Tosh? We want to interview him right here live." And they go, "Well, he just died yesterday."
Yeah,
it wasn't even on the news yet. It wasn't on the news or nothing. So we found out before the public
On
that
the
Peter
phone.
Tosh has died. Do you think
On the
that was like
phone.
maybe the angels, the Bible, like giving us a head start, letting us know first before the public?
Weird.
Yeah, very, very possibly. And you know, it's,
Yeah. We
it's
kind of got
definitely-
it. We
I
kinda
tried
got
to
it.
remember at the meetup. I tried to find out if everyone knew famous people and stuff because I seem to have a ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
And then talking to my wife now, she thinks I'm probably Illuminati confirmed because, like, for instance, you guys brought up Zapped, okay? So that's Scott Baio. Well, I just told you the other day, remember I found all these photos when I was in New York, including some of the ones when I was inside the Statue of Liberty, and I found all these. And I was visiting my friend Larry in New York, and it turns out Larry is Scott Baio's cousin.
Oh, no kidding.
So I met him and went to the Seinfeld tapings. See, that's me with his cousin. That's Scott Baio's cousin. And
Wow.
so I met him, and then I went to the Seinfeld tapings and saw the Soup Nazi episode live and met him and so Shauna and like it's just on and on and on. I thought this was normal. And yet when I talk about it, it's like nobody seems to know like as many weird things as I do and have really odd things in my house. Like you've seen some of the stuff I've shown on the show that's just like, how do you have that? You know, like even this quarter that still says that the Statue of Liberty is on Ellis Island, you know.
Wow.
No,
That's
awesome.
nice residual, man.
So it's like I just have weird stuff in my house and seem to know a lot of weird people.
Yeah, I as a Lyft driver, you know, I pick up some different characters from time to time. I picked up the guitarist for Thin Lizzy once.
No.
Love it.
Yeah,
Eric, did we listen to Thin Lizzy the other day? We were talking about him, and I was telling you, we were talking about Thin Lizzy, dude, just the other day. I was like, can you believe he's Irish, dude? It's a black Irish guy. You can't tell by, I mean, not being racist, people, but you couldn't tell that the lead singer was a black Irish guy. You thought he was a regular, you know, like, right? What's a regular guy? But anyway, I didn't know he was of African descent. I thought he was a regular Irish guy, you know, a regular Irish. We didn't know.
I think this whole world is way smaller, and I think people run into these people way more often than we think.
Isn't it weird?
We just talked about Thin Lizzy. We were talking all about me and Eric in the car. We're eating a hamburger, getting, you know, like a drive-through, talking about Thin Lizzy, and he brings up the guitars, the Thin Lizzy.
Well, a few times now here in Portland, I've picked up this passenger, and his name was Clyde. And I went and picked him up, and he got in my back seat, and he started talking, and he had a very familiar voice, and it happened to be Clyde Lewis. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He does the Ground Zero radio show. It's like a national syndicated.
No.
He's been doing it for over 20 years.
Okay.
But he, you know, it's a nightly call-in show. A lot of people, it was like, you know, he's been doing this way before Alex Jones.
Okay.
And so it was really cool to be able to, you know, I've given him a ride 3 different times now, randomly.
Wow.
I gotta say something. I was talking to Rasta, and you know, we are all different, obviously, and we're all doing some reason we're here. And what he does for a living is fantastic because, as he said, like we can try to explain to people what's going on, but they might just completely shut down and walk away. But when you're in an Uber and you're going somewhere, you're stuck with that person. And if the way he brings it up obviously is not bad, but when he starts talking to people about things, they open up and they have discussions, even if they don't agree with them. And I guarantee you he's switching minds as long as it takes for him to get from point A to point B. And so this young man, whatever, I feel like everyone to me is, you know, this guy is doing God's work, and I'm proud to know him. That's all.
So, thank you. I'm proud to know you guys as well. This is, you know, really you know, I feel blessed to be a part of all this, and you know, also to be alive during this time, you know, and have the opportunities that we have, and you know, every day is a challenge, but you know, it's a challenge I accept with open arms, because it's, you know, it's I think we all chose to be here during this time.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah, I know that.
Bob, I apologize. The dog is attacking your horse.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Fine?
Make sure you put it back in my bed, though. Put that horse back in my bed. I'm gonna make sure that horse gets in my bed.
Put it back in your bed? Okay.
Yeah, I'm a brony. I'm down with the bronies. I'm learning brony methods. I'm becoming a brony.
I watched this documentary on My Little Pony, the My Little Pony show.
Here we go.
And they have like a My Little Pony convention.
Yeah.
And there's these guys that are obsessed with My Little Pony, that go to it. They're called bronies.
We know.
Yes. Yes. Hey, Rasta Bear, if you go to our channel, if you scroll down, we actually made a video about bronies.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they're a fascinating bunch.
Yeah.
You will love the brony.
It's a long-going joke. That's why there is a horse in my bed. Eric put a horse in my bed so I can be a brony. I go, oh, I got a freaking horse in my bed. Are you happy to see
it? Out of The Godfather, right? That's it.
Have a brownie and a brony.
Yeah. Have a brownie and a brony. A brony with a brownie.
Eric, make brony brownies.
Brony brownies. Wow. There's deep. There's an idea. There's a T-shirt waiting to happen. Brony brownies. Oh, no, that's bad. I can see the brony brownies. That's the name of a band.
This is quickly becoming everyone's what do you call that? Secret pleasure on YouTube. Because like there's actually some information, and then there's like ghost chats, which is back there, and it's making my screen flash occasionally when we make it laugh, apparently.
I'm gonna pull up a picture for Rasta Bear. I think he's gonna love this. Oh, I got it. Rasta Bear, are you ready for this?
Oh, yeah. No.
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Oh God. No.
Please. Okay, good. I'm not on there. Thank you.
There it is.
It's Mike Healy.
Yeah, you got voidage on there for sure.
What are bronies and why do they exist? That's a video on our channel.
That's funny. Love it. Oh, in case, just to take us back real quick, in case anybody wants to know. So if you did Ecclesiastes, if that's how you say it, I don't even know. Chapter 3, it goes, to everything there's a season, to every time, every purpose under heaven, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to play. So if you read chapter 3, verse 1 on, it's basically the song. So it's just fascinating to me how often it appears in our culture. None of us have a clue. Like before I read it, I had no idea.
I had a little bit of it pulled up right here, chapter 1, verse 7, which it kind of refers to the flat earth as well, because it says all streams run to the sea, but the sea is not full. To the place where the streams flow, there they continue to flow. All things are wearisome, more than one can express. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, or the ear filled with hearing. What has been is what will be, and what has been done is what will be done. There is nothing new under the sun. There is nothing which is said that said, see, this is new, it has already been done. So wow. Have the bronies been here before?
Oh no. That was awesome.
I swear, Bob, you look good as a brownie. You really do, as a brony. That pink outfit, you really rock it.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
That was hilarious, by the way. That was funny. He tied it all together. It's perfect.
Everyone's been doing like a Bible research. I've been doing I've been following the Mandela. I've been doing obviously 1 Peter 3:17/20, 3:17/20, and I've been doing the threes. I've been looking at the threes in the Bible, trying to do the numerical thing in my head. But that's and that 1 Peter is where Jesus it's a new Mandela effect in the Bible. For 3 days, of course, he's dead. But in 3 days' time,
Bible study. I'm ready.
he goes to hell. He goes to hell.
Sorry. No
It's-
pee. No pee.
He goes to hell, and you're like, okay, so he does 3 days of hell? What?
Where are you, Robert? I love it. Let's make this the thumbnail.
Okay. It's First Peter. It's 3:17-20.
Okay, everyone, get your Bibles out. Here we go. You need a hat and a Bible.
I don't have a Bible.
Jesus goes to hell for 3 days. Well, the third day he comes, 4 days back, but in 3 days he's in hell. And I was like, what did he do in hell? And everyone's trying to interpret who was he? He was trying to liberate people from hell. So he didn't just sleep for 3 days. He was busy. So he was on the cross, and then he proceeded to go to hell, and then he came back. Now, hell in paganism isn't what people think. It's not a place of fire and fucking destruction and you're burning. Hell is a boring place. It's cold and damp and boring. So he went to a boring place for 3 days to get people, to free people, to free prisoners, to free. So yeah, that was interesting. That's another 3. And then of course the other Mandela effect I was working on was when Judah took the coins, he accepted the silver coins. Do you guys remember how many coins he accepted? There's no wrong answer.
3.
Close. How about you?
I always thought it was 6. Why am I thinking?
Well, in my time, Sagittarius Army uses the label. Sagittarius Army was 13 coins.
That seems like a lot to me.
Well, yeah, it's 13 silver coins.
I found a book.
But not now. Brain frog.
What's it now? Is it 3?
No, it's 30. There's the 3 though. The 30 is 30 silver coins. So now, I guess Jesus is worth a lot more when it comes down to getting some fucking ducats. So homie's worth 30 silver coin now. That's a lot of traveling money as Judah got there. But it used to be 13. And the reason why I know it's 13 because even back home, Eric knows that Eric and I used to go to a restaurant down the road. I used to work at a restaurant where the waitresses also worked at a place called 13 Coins.
Yeah, I was going to say there's one out here in
13 Coins. Yeah, 13 Coins is named after it's from the Bible. It's from
that makes sense. I never knew why. That makes sense. That's
13 silver coins. But now in the Bible, it's 30 silver coins. So Yeshua was worth a lot more bones in this place in the Bible.
It's interesting, Robert. You're saying how you're being drawn to like research more things.
Yeah.
You guys have seen some of my videos, and then all of a sudden, I was watching somebody's Twitter feed, and they talked about Matthew what the heck, the dude, the Lincoln.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey. They talked about how he's doing, from home PSAs, whatever. So I watched the 5-minute clip, and within it, I saw so many signs that were just smacking me in the face.
Oh, yeah.
And then I looked behind him, and he had the numbers 1969. So I went to Matthew 16, and then next thing I know, it fit perfect. I threw it together. It's like a 2-minute video or less, but I just felt compelled to do that, and that's not what I do. That was totally foreign to me. But when I feel whatever it is I need to get out in my videos, I have to do it. And that thing smacked me in the head, and I just needed to do it. I don't even know why I did it, and I didn't even want to put it up. And my wife said I had to, so I did. But
your instinct told you to do it. Well,
it got inserted in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's mainlined. I didn't understand it.
That's that's one thing about this book, and the spiritual connection to it is the more you grow in the Word, the more that it really guides you in the right place. Like there's so many times where I'll just randomly pick a page and just open up the book, and it'll lead me right to the right verse or chapter that I should be reading that day at that time because it's the most applicable to whatever I'm facing or whatever situation. And especially right now with all that we're facing, I mean, it's really hard to deny that we're, not living in the pages of the Bible. that are being, and it's really exciting because it takes a little faith at this time to
yeah,
be a
a lot.
believer. And you have to really be blinded to a lot of
Blind
things.
faith.
Your audio cut out, Rasta.
Oh, it did? Let me try and come back in.
You're being stopped by the Matrix. He's
Yeah,
being
whenever
stopped.
we found this out, Robert, whenever we talk about God,
Yeah,
stuff
something
happens.
happens.
People drop out, cameras go weird. Yeah.
Well, while we're waiting
Let's do
for
a shout out to Voynich because I don't know if you guys heard. Voynich, he hurt his legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to go to the hospital. He couldn't walk, and he's in the chat, so he's doing better. But everybody, give Voynich your best wishes. I don't know
Yeah.
exactly what happened, but he actually had to go to the hospital and stuff for his legs.
Him
All right.
keeps messing with that poor guy, giving him all kinds of stones and hurting his legs.
You know what's interesting about that you bring that up? The same thing I've been watching, and hopefully the audience that goes there. James True has really been fascinating for me. If anybody hasn't caught his streams, they're very heady. He really goes in other areas and it makes you think about things. And one of the things he's teaching me is that if we've all chosen to be here, because I truly believe that, there seems no other reason. Because anybody that's even in this chat, in some way they're helping. And if they feel that they're not, then they'll find what it is inside and they need to do that. As real as it is. Like I said, he's waking people up one at a time in a car. There's so many ways you can do it. You don't have to blast and try to get as many people.
I'll be right back.
Just do that one, And so he's taught me about this whole thing about how we need to just open up that aperture of compassion for everyone and for the people that are doing this to us, these horrible people like, the Bill Gateses of the world or the politicians of the world, and they're all doing this horrible stuff to us and we hate them. Mm-hmm. But then flip it around and think about it. If they didn't take it to this like ridiculous, crazy level that it's getting now, where it's like we're watching a wrestling match, I punch you in the face. Now you got to come back at me with a chair. And when you hit me with a chair, I got to come back with you with a ladder. They keep escalating it to these ridiculous, we have murder hornets. Like I think the Matrix or whatever it is kind of glitching out. It doesn't know what to do. I mean, we had
fucking it up.
Yeah, we had the Kernani and you couldn't go outside, but now we have riots. And my governor says, well, that's acceptable. If you need to riot, you can go outside. But if you want to go to the park, that's dangerous. Like, we totally live in such a ridiculous upside down world. I mean, it's beyond idiocracy. We're well past spraying Gatorade on the crops at this point. We shot past that like in a rocket. Okay. We're in uncharted territory where they don't even know what to throw at us anymore, where they literally are putting bricks and rocks out and people are like
putting it out.
Bricks and rocks. And they're like, oh, sorry, I'm going to take them away. Right. And we're watching people that are getting knocked over by police. But when you slow frame it, they've got a blood pack like behind their head and wires going into their masks and stuff. It's like it's getting so blatantly obvious that you have to almost on some level, I know this is weird, thank them for being so ridiculously evil. Like it's beyond James Bond villain evil. Now we're in Austin Power territory. Like literally our villain is doing like things with their hands and things to make sure they're there. You know what I mean? Like our villain, we almost have to, I know this sounds weird, and I love God and I'm spiritual God. You almost have to thank the villain for being such a ridiculous, like Batman's 1960 TV villain.
Yeah, it's
waking up. And even people that we couldn't wake up are now coming to us and going, okay, this Kernani thing's bullshit. Even if they don't believe in anything else, they still believe in the moon landing.
It's a
Our villains have gotten so stupid, ridiculous. Yeah. Am I right? Am I the only one thinking this?
No, it is because number one, Oswald's window, he shot Kennedy is square out of the entire, all of them around, his is square. Okay. Then you have the Twin Towers. Then you have this building number 10 or whatever that has it owned by the CIA and the military with a bunker down below with sub pumps enough to blow up 2 towers. It's the answers right there. Okay, if you believe in that answer, you keep moving down. It's giving you all the answers to everything. Ferdinand, that fucking Duke Ferdinand in my time was killed by one assassin. One fucking guy did it, planned it, and everything was done. World War I started. In this timeline, it took 6 to 7 bumbling fucking assassins for one to finally get it. It took everybody botches everything in this timeline.
You gotta admit, this is getting funnier. Like, you came up with this theory, and I like it, Robert. Where I came from, we had one moon landing, and they probably actually did it. I don't know, but
might have done it.
That trash can looks so ridiculous. Like, I looked at my photos because I went there all proud with my kids when they were little. I look at them now, and I'm like, I was a complete idiot. Like, that thing looks like it's put together in a school classroom with foil and paper cardboard and.
I built one. I worked in them. It's tinfoil. It can't withstand. You gotta be in a submarine type of vehicle to be in that zero fucking vacuum of space, so it don't crush like a can. Those things go. So anyway, no.
When you look at that now, it's just ridiculous. How do we believe in that at all?
Well, that and the construction of the ISS. It's like, why don't we have any type of footage whatsoever? And it's the greatest feat of mankind ever. It's a huge structure that's like the size of a football field, floating around in space.
You know what the answer on that is? They say it was classified. But yet, then we allow like the Russians and all the communist countries. So that makes no sense either.
It was
classified in the making, not once it's up.
It's so classified that I keep telling people, you guys can see my early videos from 2016 when I woke up at the Museum of Light, and I am an exhibits guy, so I build props. I build things that are fake on purpose to fool people into thinking it's the real thing. To find out that everything.
You want to do that, Bob? Would you?
Yeah, to find out that everything. We didn't have any Apollo stuff that was coming in 2017. We were going to meetings. Funny, true story. The big party, the Museum of Flight had a big celebration for SpaceX going up to Bob and Doug McKenzie, whatever. The McKenzie brothers went up to the fucking, the what's up, eh? Get a beer, eh? They went up to the fucking space station. Okay, so then the Museum of Flight had a party for him. And the curator's down in a little corner box, and he's all, I know the guy. Now, I worked with him one-on-one, that curator. We worked together. That same little whiny fucker was sitting with me, next to me, in the meetings with a pile of fucking papers that he didn't know anything about. The Apollo. I go, dude, when did we play golf on the moon? And he goes, I don't know. We never played golf on it. He threw the paper down. He storms around. We can't do that. I said, you tell me about it. I don't have any memory of these things. One of our other staff guys, he quit. Our number one designer that designs all the exhibits, he had to quit because he had no idea. I don't know anything about Apollos. I don't know any of this stuff coming in from fucking NASA. They're giving me tons of, I don't know what these pictures are. When did these fucking appear? So we're putting together this false narrative of the fucking moon stuff. We removed all of the Operation Paperclip. I go, why are we removing the Operation Paperclip section? This is the number one section. It's the most popular section. We had to hide it. We were supposed to hide it. I go, why are we hiding Operation Paperclip? And why are we adding all these new stupid things? Nobody, the curator that's all proud about the SpaceX, we're having a party at the Museum of Flight. That's the same guy again that has no idea of anything in space. We didn't have anything on the new space lab up in space. We didn't even have any pictures on it.
Well, yeah. For me, it just magically appeared one day. Like, I don't know. Like, it was like I woke up one day and there was just a space station floating around up there, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, it's there. It's legit."
Been there. What?
No one questioned it. So it's like either it was just automatically Mandela affected into our reality, or they just pulled the fast one. And as long as somebody in a white lab coat, especially with a NASA patch on it, says something, people take it for legit.
I I might be your guy on the inside because I'm starting to go through all this old stuff. I told you I have a grandfather who was 32nd degree, and then he got out. So I think they killed him too. Look at that. Autographed pictures. I think it was Tom Stafford and Gene Cernan in the Gemini program.
Wow.
I have this hanging next to my flat Earth map. I have right next to it. And this was the Russian Soyuz shot.
Wow.
Look at that nice balloon.
Look at that.
Right? He knew them all. It was really cool. So I could see why they took him out.
Yeah, what gets me about NASA is like they've got one of the biggest budgets in the world, you know, 60 million a day and then trillions into the space station and whatnot. And they use the cheapest special effects and cheapest CGI they can possibly find.
They saved, I mean, the movie Gravity had way better effects in it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, way better.
Well,
like it was
are you guys saying this is not real, this footage?
Oh, sorry to burst your bubble here.
Their salary, guys. I know it sounds stupid to say that, but if you know what salary is, that means you're lazy. When you get salary, you don't work hard. So these things coming in are all from salaried workers. And I know about NASA. From Museum of Flight. People think that NASA is one building with a bunch of smart people. NASA is a collection of buildings all over the United States, including the back of the turtle and other countries also. NASA's all over. It's a mixture of all over.
And they do that to help spread the lie, because all those people, they all have family members, and you know, like, so then their family members can be like, well, my family member works at NASA, so therefore it has to be real. Because they wouldn't lie to me, even though all they do is crunch numbers all day and really have no idea what they're doing. But
it's amazing how that camera.
Yeah, I love that camera. I love that. We keep joking about the camera that tilts itself up. It follows it up. Who's on the fucking surface? Yeah. Hey, what about me?
Well, even the new ones like the SpaceX, did they explain how they got some of these shots from beyond the rocket? And it's just like nobody questions these things.
Yeah, the newest SpaceX launch is just such a joke. Like, it's honestly one of the worst orchestrated events yet. Like, it's just, they did like 6 camera changes before it even like got out of view,
and then when it lands, it cuts out even before it lands, and then it's there, and everyone's like, hey.
Exactly. Yeah. Then it went straight to CGI, and then I happened to catch the docking of it. Where it connected with the space station, and it just looked so ridiculous. Like, it was just, you know, it was the space station supposedly is going 1,700 miles per hour, and it looked like it wasn't moving. You know, it was just I don't know if they were able to stop it for the docking or you know how did the shuttle that they were in catch up to the 1,700 miles per hour to stay, you know, right at that speed without any type of booster or anything, and to line itself perfectly to where it has to come in and be, you know, so precise. It's
a bullet. It's a bullet landing on a bullet.
Then they got out of the shuttle, you know, so quick, and they supposedly, you know, they're sitting there for like 24 hours to get there. So they would probably, you know, more than likely shit themselves on the way there. And,
they said that how many days it takes to get up there, they're just covered in their own feces, urine, and they're strapped in where they can't move.
But instead of like getting out and changing their diaper right away, what they would have had to do, you know, they got out and went right into the other, you know, into the space station and jumped on the live stream and started having a Q&A with Ted Cruz down in Houston.
It must have stunk.
No, he smelled like.
I still need to call NASA to find out. I still need to call NASA to find out how much will it cost to send a bag of my poop on the moon.
Yeah, we were going to do it.
Find that out.
That was a different stream.
Bear shit. I was told by audio. Thank you, one of our sidebar people. I wanted to correct myself. I make mistakes. We all do. Bear shit is not in the regular King James Bible. It's only in the Torah. So bear shit is in the Torah. Bear
Hey,
shit.
but speaking of that, now we have a bear. We were gonna get a collection. Now we could get some of Rasta's, and it'd be like, does a bear shit on the moon? Yes, it does. See?
Yes, it does.
That, right?
A bear shits on the moon. Because-
Yeah, well, remember we joke about because the Israel sent a rocket up with this capsule, and the name of the capsule was bear shit. Bear shit. The name of the
Did
capsule.
anyone in the chat know this? Like, I've learned the greatest things on this show.
Yeah, they don't. People like no, they think we're joking. No, there was a craft set up by Israel's space program, which we didn't know they had. They set it up to the moon, and Bear Sheet didn't quite make it. It crash landed. In fact, if you look at the top of the moon, there's a dark spot on the top of the moon in the corner. That's where it landed.
It says Israel spacecraft crash lands on the moon.
Yeah, Bear Sheet. Bear shit.
Bear shit. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, bear shit.
For anyone that's having an issue with this, we were reading Bibles. If you go back about 30 minutes, we were all reading Bibles. So, you know.
Yeah.
Well, that goes to one other Bible chapter in Hosea, which I felt is really out of place. It may be legitimate, but it talks quite in detail about whoring, and it says, "Plead with your mother, plead, for she is not my wife, and I am not her husband, that she put away her whoring from her face, and her adultery from between her breasts. For their mother has played the whore. She who conceived them has acted shamefully, for she said, I will go after my lovers. They will give me my bread and my water, my wool and my flax, my oil and my drink."
Wow. A whoring, man. I used to go whoring a lot. I loved it.
That's exactly what I got from that too, Rostabear. Yeah, that wrapped it up exactly. Thanks.
I like whores because they're professional and they own themselves and they are in charge. Which one? I don't see professional what they do, and they're in charge and they own themselves. And
Brian, Karen, you watching? This is coming your way.
A whoring. I want a whoring a lot of times.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're about to break into song.
Why don't we all go whoring tonight?
Camera, my hat really likes this, Robert. My camera just went crazy.
Grab your beer, my friends, and grab your money. We're going to whoring tonight. It's going to be a fantastic night. We're going to whoring.
Oh, and hey,
My dad used to brag about it.
check
Mustang
this
Red.
out. You see this feather?
Ah, yes.
Does anybody know what that is in the chat? Because
The ghost
that
hat.
feather my wife found. Now check this out. There was this tree, and hanging off of the tree was a spider web, a single spider web, like a line, and this feather was on it. And it's a tree that I stare at a lot because I see a wavelength issue there. It's hard to explain. It's an energy field. It's almost like in that movie Predator.
Yeah.
Only it's not like I can see like in that movie. I just see if you've ever seen heat coming off of a cement, or what do you call it, tar on the ground or whatever, the heat coming off, you can see the wavelength. So I see it in this one area all the time, and that's where this feather was hanging off of a single strand of a spider web.
You got a gift, man.
I don't know what kind of bird it is. If anybody can tell me.
Yeah. You got a gift for your hat. I have a raven's feather that I got in not Amsterdam, but Holland somewhere. I was looking for the ultimate feather for my hat because they confiscated my other crow feather at the fucking airport. So I was like, what? So I was looking for something better, and oddly enough, this monster raven feather just happens to like fall. And the person I was with, did you see what I just saw? I found my feather. It's just monster raven feather just come out of nowhere, and I've had it in my hat ever since. It's kind of like the same concept with your feather. Weird God gave you a feather too. You got a feather. It's
so it says a goose feather summon, and we do have these geese that go by, so it could have been.
Okay.
Well,
Thank you. I'll check that out. Thank you, because I'd like.
hey guys, actually, I gotta drive to Tacoma. I actually gotta go to Tacoma, but right before I go, I know I said in the past our shows are on Tuesdays, Thursday, and Friday. I'm kind of changing it to Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to give me a space between each show. And we're supposed to have a guest coming on Monday. I had to verify it. But Bob, what's her name that might be coming on?
Oh, she used to call herself the Ghost Whisperer. That's how I know her, from the Ghost Whisperer. She's shaman. Shamanic. Yeah, she knows her stuff.
Do you want me to bring the? I mean,
you could bring anything magical, any
shield, the hat, feathers, lifting the veil.
Everything. We're talking crystals, feathers, anything shamanic. I've known her since 2016. I've watched her stuff. She knows her stuff. I mean, really knows her stuff. Actually goes out and does it.
We're gonna try to verify it tomorrow. We'll try to get a hold of her to make sure she's coming on Monday. And so right before we go, Rasta Man, I had your channel up. I told people to sub you, and now you got StreamYard. Are you gonna start going more live? You think?
Oh yeah, it's definitely it's addicting. I think to start streaming. Like you want to get out there and share the truth, and it was very encouraging. At some point I think I had like up to like 17 or 20 people in the chat, which is really. Made me feel good for doing my first live stream. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more of those. And yeah, if any of you guys want to be a guest on my show at any time, I would love that. Because I'm definitely going all for it now. Because it's exciting, and I've got a lot to share. And
I think we want to be a guest on your show. That's why I don't want to interview. That's why I don't want to interfere when you're on live yesterday. I don't want to get in the chat because it's your first time. I didn't want to say, hey, look, it's Gypsy in there. I just wanted you to have your thing. And please invite us during the week. And I think all three of us would love to come on.
Sure, I go on your show anytime. I mean, it just be like this.
Sweet.
So Sealing, are you going to be dropping any videos this weekend or anything on your channel?
I've got two that I haven't finished, so I do want to finish one of them. But I've been I don't know. My life has really gotten busy. A lot of people have been inviting me onto their streams, and I feel honored to anybody that wants to listen to me. So I'm thrilled. I go on everything. I guess, like Robert said, I'm a whore.
We've been busy. I mean, Bob
I just shocked anybody wants to hear me. And like you guys were talking about, I make no money on my channel, and I do it just because I feel there's something I need to say, and if anybody listens to it and one person resonates with it and it helps, then that's why I do it. But I also do it because then my wife doesn't have to hear it, because otherwise she'd be hearing it all the time, and sometimes I can put it up there.
And so. I'm not gonna ask Robert when he puts his stuff up. He just decides to do it, so he doesn't have a set day. Bob says, "I'm doing one tonight," and that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Well,
Bob's
he can also walk away
from
the stream and you wouldn't know it, and he comes back like an hour later, forgot he was on air. So
people in the chat, if you go to Bob's channel, Bob, get a bucket of popcorn, just kick back and watch. Bob doesn't read the chat. He just does his thing. You just sit back and you enjoy. Because I tell him, it's like, hey, how come Bob's not responding? He don't respond. Bob is in his own world on his channel.
No.
It's
don't
like
even try.
There. It's
sometimes I'll try to butt in once in a while, like last night. I think I butt in a couple times.
I don't have it on. I just talk into the microphone. I don't even have the screen up. I don't have anybody inside. I don't know. I'll put it on every once in a while to say hi, and then mostly I don't.
Yeah. So I want to thank Rasta Bear and Silly Fan Man for jumping on. They're fantastic, and hopefully you guys come back Monday, watch us. Hopefully our guest comes. I don't want to say for sure, because last time I said I had a sure guest, the person never came on, never responded back. It's just like somebody told them, hey, don't go on these guys' show. They don't take things seriously.
Yeah.
We do take things seriously. We just like to have fun with it. That's the only difference.
I know that I'm a brother from another reality. So you guys, anytime I'll jump in. I'm honored anytime I'm on your show. And the last thing
you're great.
Thank you.
You're fun. You're great. And Rasta Bear, anytime we're on, I usually always put a StreamYard in the chat. You're always more than welcome to jump on.
I really appreciate the invite and getting me on here. Yeah, that means a lot.
Your brother's in slow motion.
I have to end this. I got to go to Tacoma. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you guys later.
I'm going to be on James True. If anybody knows that show, he'll be on this afternoon, and I'm going to be there. and I highly
All right,
recommend
guys.
his channel.
Somebody put that in the chat. All right.